Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Timothy. I just wanted to sit down with you guys today and film a easy get ready with me tutorial. I did my full face plus my eyeshadow so that way you guys can see everything I did. I didn't do any eyeliner. Like I said, I wanted this to be more of like a natural look. I do have friends of the hearing impaired community, and they informed me and reached out that it would be a lot easier for them to understand me with subtitles in my video, so that's what I'll be doing. Also, I kind of just wanted to start out this video a little bit differently. I wanted to just start off with a positive message just to get everything going, because I do want this channel to be looked at as more of a like makeup tutorial slash motivational influencing kind of channel, I guess you can say. Just to get everything started then, the positive message of the day is love yourself first and everything else will fall into place. Alright, well I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and share and give me a thumbs up. I do want you guys to interact with me a little bit more. I want you guys to even like recreate my looks or maybe even switch things up a little bit. So now if you want to see me go from a tired bitch to a bad bitch, then keep on watching. Alright you guys, so these are going to be some of the products and tools that we will be using today. And I'll describe everything that I'm using along the way as well. Alright guys, don't mind the messy hair, I swear I'm going to get it cut soon. But just for starters and to begin the video, what we're going to be doing first is we are actually going to be priming. I use the, as you guys seen in the beginning, I use the Master Prime Blur and Illuminate, but I mainly use this one just for hydration. And I just rub this onto my clean hands. And I don't really use a lot of the product just because it is very spreadable, it is very moisturizing, and it has a little bit of a shine to it, just to like kind of give your skin that like natural glow. You know what I mean? Because we all love a natural glow, ho. I'm going to go straight into foundation now. I'm going to be using the MAC foundation in shade MC40. So I actually use two different steps when it comes to blending out the foundation. And I like to just go in with my little applicator like this. It's just a little spatula. This just helps me control the use of the foundation that I'm using, so I'm not trying to use too much. With the MAC foundation, you definitely do not want to use too much because a little bit does go a long way. I just grab the spatula like this, and then I apply it directly onto my face. Alright guys, now I'm just going to take the foundation brush that I normally use. This is the Morphe 444, as you guys seen in the beginning of the video. I just use this brush to stipple in the foundation. I try not to bring the foundation too far under my eyes because I do have a little bit more like matured skin up there. Okay, and as you guys can see, I'm just using the side of the brush right here to kind of press in the foundation around the eye, because we're going to be adding concealer later, and like I said, since I do have more matured skin, I don't really like to add a lot of product under my eye or where I have wrinkles. And I kind of just work in sections, make sure that's just nice and pressed into the skin. For the ears, I kind of just rub the extra foundation on. So that way it just turns your ears a nice slight color, and it gives you a full blend around the face. And then I go behind the ear, behind that little space behind the ear, and down to my neck. I kind of just drag that part down. So if you guys can see the difference, this is obviously the side with foundation. This side has no foundation. Okay, so I pretty much just do the same thing with my forehead area. I just dab a little bit less product though, because my forehead doesn't really need that much coverage. It's more just to even out the color. If you guys would have seen me at like ending of summer last year, my dad came to visit. Oh my gosh, I did the most craziest thing, and he was drinking, and I don't know what came in his mind, but he was just like, if you cut your hair off, I'll give you $100. And in my mind, I was like, bitch, that is like the easiest fucking $100 ever. He wanted me to actually like shave my head, like down to a 0. I just could not. I was like, okay, no. Obviously, I wasn't gonna shave my head down to a 0 for $100. Like, that was too crazy. So, anyways, we come to agreement that we're gonna go ahead and just shave my head to a size 1. Craziest thing I ever did. I don't even know what the hell I was thinking. Oh my gosh, so crazy. I'm probably never gonna do that again unless he offers 200, because, you know, a bitch gotta get that coin. To everybody back home, I miss you guys. And for those of you guys who are just tuning in for this video, my name is Timothy and I'm originally from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I moved from California. I really want to see you guys like recreate these looks too, so drop some comments of your guys' recreations of my look. I just want to kind of interact with you guys a little bit more to see what you guys want to see what kind of products you guys want me to use. Make sure you guys are blending everywhere on the neck, especially underneath. Don't forget. Alright, and just blend all the way down to the neck, all the way around. Kind of just pull the shirt out a little bit. Oh my gosh, let me show you guys my shirt. I actually got this shirt for free when I went to a dispensary here in Moreno Valley. Well, it's in Paris, but it's called Dynamic Meds if you guys are ever out here, or if you guys are local to California. Welcome, hey! Okay, so now that we've applied the foundation with our brush, I like to just go in and make sure everything is blended together. So what I do is I use my sponge. This is from the Cream Shop. I love this sponge. It just gets all the areas. It's quick, it's huge. It fits under the eye though. It's amazing. It's like an all-in-one. And I just kind of use the bottom end of the sponge just because it's flat. And I just pat off the extra foundation that my skin really isn't using. So the sponge is damp, but it's not dripping wet. And that's how you want your sponge to be. And just kind of pat around the areas that you did put the foundation on. Make sure everything blended together. So now that our foundation has been blended to fill, it almost looks like a second skin, but it still has the coverage that you need, of course. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the concealer underneath my eyes first, and then I'm going to apply the powder. Just so that way it sets my under eyes faster. And for concealer today, you guys seen in the video that there was 2 shades of concealer. I'll tell you guys why later. The first shade of concealer that we're going to be using is the Tarte Shape Tape in shade medium. I don't really apply much concealer because, like I said, I do have more mature skin, and less is more. Always keep that in mind. And with my dampened warm sponge, I used hot water to dampen the sponge under my eyes because I just feel like the warmth helps make the concealer blend into the skin a little bit better, and that's why I used the hot water. Alright, so as you guys can see, I am pretty much just blending out my concealer, bringing it down towards the mouth and out towards the temple and almost near the forehead, just kind of right above the brow. I go into the powder with a dry sponge just because I feel like it helps the powder set a little bit faster. And I'm applying the powder directly underneath the eye, especially under like my crease area. I want to apply the powder directly under that area, especially just because I know that area is going to crease a little bit more. And I'm just using my regular Almaty setting powder to set this under eye, and I usually use it for the rest of the face as well. I'm trying to keep the powder away from the mouth area for right now because I am going to apply a little bit more concealer. Alright, so now that the important area has been set, I'm going to go ahead and just apply a little bit more concealer in areas that I need a little bit more coverage. Kind of been being lazy, but it's okay, because we're getting our shit together this year. What did you guys think about the motivational quote at the beginning? Did you guys like that? Do you guys feel like it's cute, it's new? What do you think? Let me know. So what I'm pretty much doing now is I am blending out my concealer and spreading it across my face from my chin to my ear to help define the contour a little bit better. And then I'm just highlighting the areas in my face that I want to be brightened. I'm moving back to our dry sponge. We're going to use the dry sponge for the powder, and we're going to set the entire face. I do use a lot of powder, but I don't want you guys to be scared about that. I'll show you guys how to kind of get rid of that powdery look in just one hot minute. Okay? Alright, so now that you look like a powdery hoe, you're just going to go ahead and apply more powder into the areas that you did not apply the concealer. And if you have dry skin like myself, you want to be kind of quick with the powder because the last thing you want is to be looking like the Sahara Desert. Don't forget to powder your neck. That neck is still there, it's still important. Like, hey bitch, we still remember you. We know you, bitch. We didn't forget. Alright, so now that it looks like you just dipped your face into a big bag of powder. Sorry guys, I didn't notice that the maintenance people were actually out today. So homophobic. So we're gonna go ahead and just dust off this. Alright, so now that we've dusted off the powder, we're just gonna give ourselves a nice good spritz. I like to use the Mario Badescu spray right here. I just feel like it's really nice and really moisturizing still, but doesn't disrupt the makeup or the foundation. And I kind of just spritz myself very well, very generously. You kind of just want to let it sit there and soak up into the skin for a sec, and then go in with your dampened sponge and kind of just smooth that out. So now that we've pressed all that liquid into the skin and your skin looks like skin again, we're gonna go ahead and contour. I like to use the Cocoa Contour Powder from Too Faced. I can't really describe the smell besides like really good chocolate. Alright, so moving on to the contour, I kind of just apply the contour from the bottom of my hairline diagonally almost towards my lip. So this is where I use my starting base, And then I obviously do not drag my contour all the way down to my lip, but that's kind of just the areas that I want to try and keep the contour between. And I do that by lightly dabbing the contour brush in those areas. Okay, and now I'm just kind of using sweeping motions now, but I'm using more of the top edge of the brush. Right here. Alright, so you should have something like this. A light brown area around this area. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm gonna just start from the bottom of my hairline and press that into the skin. I don't really contour my jawline just because I don't really feel like I need it. I have like a pretty nice sculpted jawline already, but I do contour my forehead because, as you guys can see, that's a pretty big ass forehead. And I kind of just pull my hair back. Even though this is powder, I still don't want it to get in my hair. And I'm gonna just apply this right here first and just work it towards the middle and back. So now that we have a nice chiseled forehead right here, we're gonna go ahead and move into blush. I really like to use the blush from Kylie Cosmetics. This is the X-rated blush. I kind of just pat like that. So it's almost from like the middle of my eye, the corner of my eye down, and then that's where I start like my half of circle, I guess. And then I use the top part of the brush just to apply that part right there in that circular motion. And I'm just patting the color into the face. Alright, and since we're not trying to blind anybody today, we're just trying to go for more of a subtle look. I'm not going to really wet my highlighter today. I'm going to be using the Beauty Bakerie highlighter. This is in shade Iced. It is a loose highlighter, so I kind of just lightly tap my brush in there, tip my brush upside down, and kind of tap. And I didn't wet my brush or anything. I'm just going for, like I said, a light, subtle glow. I like to tap the highlighter onto the face and kind of drag downwards, but not like all the way down. I'm just lightly dragging down. So I am going to go ahead and just prep the lips now. I use my chapstick from Birds and Bees. My maintenance people are outside right now, but they're just being loud as fuck, and I just want to go outside and whip their asses. But you know what? New year, new me, everybody has a job to do. They're out there getting their coins, so can't be mad at them, right? Anyways, now that my lips are nice and prepped, I'm going to give that chapstick just a minute to kind of absorb, and we're going to go ahead and just move into the eyes. Now I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Concealer in shade C7. Now that we have our eyeshadow primer on, or our concealer, whatever, we're gonna just go right into the eyes, the moment you guys have all been waiting for. And as you guys seen in the intro, we're gonna be using the James Charles palette right here. I'm just bringing you guys in a little bit closer so that way you guys can get a better look of how I actually do my eyeshadow. We're gonna dip into this cool shade brown right here. And I'm just going to pat this onto the crease of my eyelid. I guess a good tip to know is just go in with your base wet still and apply the product without tapping off, so that way you get the most color payoff. So I'm going to use this shade right here, and I'm just using the same brush, but with this deeper color. I'm going to try and keep it more towards the outer V part of my eye and more towards the inner crease. And I'm just patting the color in first. Alright, so you should have something like this so far. Now for the lid space, we're going to go ahead and just use this color right here. I'm going to just use my finger, just because it's going to be faster. And I just swished it in there for a real one. And I'm just patting this onto my eyelid. Alright, so you should have something like this now. I'm just going to go ahead and dip back into that orange color lightly. Just one little dip. We're just going to blend those two together now. Alright, so you should have something like this. I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye off camera, and I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and apply some mascara. I'm using the Bad Gal Bang Mascara, as you guys seen in the beginning of the video. And I'm just going to lightly coat my eyelashes today. Alright, and while we're waiting for the mascara to dry, I'm just going to move right into the lips. Now, a lot of you guys wanted to see how I do a lip ombre, so I thought it would be a good time to demonstrate how I do so, seeing that we just went with a simple eye makeup look. This is the NYX lip pencil in shade 802 Brown. I like to really define the Cupid's bow, so I try to follow that shape as much as possible. Alright, so now that our lip liner is on and we are looking like a major chola, we are just going to put on our lipstick. Today for our lipsticks, what we're going to be using is, we're going to be using liquid lips from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. We're going to be using the minis. I go in with the darker shade first. Alright, while we're waiting for that to dry down, we'll just move directly onto the eyelashes. How I do this is I look down first, and then I look up, and then I pinch. Alright, so if you have long, natural lashes like myself, you should have something like this. And yes, hoes, these are my natural lashes. Alright, so we're going to move back to the lips, now that this lipstick is pretty much dried. And we're going to go in with our lighter shade. So we applied Gemini first, and now we are going to apply Mannequin. And now, just to get a nice soft blend, use your pinky finger. Make sure it is a clean pinky. And just lightly press those colors together. I'm going to go ahead and do my brows. I use the brow box from Urban Decay. And since my brows are pretty full right now, I do plan on trimming my eyebrows soon, so that way my friends with like hardly any eyebrows or like light eyebrows can see how they can do their eyebrows. But for now, since I do have these pretty full brows, I'm going to go ahead and just dip into the brow box with my Morphe brush. And I'm going to kind of start in the areas that have less hair. So for me, it's going to be right here in this area. So I'm now going to use the flat side to precisely sharpen up this brow. I'm going to press down and drag the product downwards like this. Alright you guys, so this is the final look right here. I zoomed in a little bit so you guys can see me a little bit better. I hope this video was a little bit more descriptive than the last video. So, as I mentioned, I'm going to be doing one shout out per video at least. And my shout out for the week is going to go to Dana Holloway. Thank you so much for all the love and support you've given me from all the time that I've known you. You've been such a great friend, honestly. You are like the most beautiful soul that I have ever met. And thank you for coming into my life, and thank you for your love and support. I really do appreciate you. Alright guys, well that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully this one was a little bit shorter. I know with my editing skills I'm not the greatest, but I'm learning how, so you just gotta give me a little bit more time. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share this video on your social networks, please. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, I will catch you hoes on the next one. Bye. Sorry, I can never find my fucking sunglasses. Okay. Catch you on the next one.